So I got pulled over last night. So stupid. You remember that roach that was in the car the other day?
Like a roach?
No, not we, man. That remember we were like driving around and I opened the damn door and a roach came in.
Oh yeah. I'm like, damn, you smoking weed now? Shit. But
Remember I told you that roach would come back to bite me in the ass.
Man, you can't be scared of roaches.
Man, well, fuck you. They fly and shit. I'm scared of anything that fucking flies. It's small as fuck.
I fly high.
Yeah, but I was kind of fucking scared to get the car, honestly. But that motherfucker, like I looked for that motherfucker, and every time I looked for it, the motherfucker would like go in the cracks and crevices.
Hell, we saw that like 2 days ago though, and it came back last night.
Anyway, I was driving down the road, right, and every time I would like drive, I got in the car 3 times, like to work, out home from work, and then fucking to the fucking house. And every time I drive like this right here on the fucking steering wheel, scared that motherfucker would crawl on me. And then at nighttime, I went to vacuum out my car to see if I could kill that bitch. And I vacuumed out my car, did not see that motherfucker, so I'm like, yep, it's gone. And then right as I was fixing to get on the bridge to go home, that motherfucker crawled on me.
Yeah, you weren't expecting that motherfucker.
Motherfucker came out of nowhere, was on my fucking dick.
On your dick?
He was on my damn
Was he at least
dick.
sucking it for you?
Oh man, fuck. Man, well, how do you know it couldn't have been? It could have been a male roach, man. It could have been gay as fuck.
Hey, I'm not prejudiced to gay roaches, man.
I'm not either. Oh well, we should probably end that in post. But we don't have an editor. Oh well, fuck it. We're keeping it. But anyway.
So it got on your dick.
Yeah, I got on my dick, and
where is this at?
it's on top of the bridge, and I was, of course, scared as fuck. So I was going 80, 90 miles an hour. Had all my lights on. Had my windows rolled down. So obviously, you could tell it was quite a scene. And as I was fixing to get to the turn to turn onto my road, I see a cop. Now, the speed limit's 45, as you know.
I was about to say, you going 80 90 miles and 45.
Legit 90. And I see the cop, and I'm like, fuck. And you know I always speed anyway. But I was like, fuck. I saw the blue lights, and of course, so I really don't want to fucking stop. But I'm like, fuck. I'm like thinking, damn, should I just fucking go run it? But I don't. So I pulled over at the gas station. What used to be the gas station.
So he's pulling you over at this point.
Yeah, so he's behind me. I've got my phone in my hand. All the interior lights on. I have my driver's license at home. My proof of insurance is at home. I don't know. Did I check for that?
I think so.
Have you ever been pulled over?
Yeah, I got pulled over one time.
I've never actually been pulled over. Should have been pulled over many times.
Well, see, I wasn't going 80 90 miles an hour at 45. When I got pulled over, I only been pulled over once. I was going 70 at 45, which is like 15 over. He just gave me a warning.
Suck his dick?
Yes.
Anyway, so, I'm panicking because I don't have anything. And he comes down the door, and you know what? This motherfucker sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator Judgment Day. This mother's like, he rolled out the window.
Get through the chopper!
No, this motherfucker, that was fucking awful. What the fuck was that? That's awful.
I'm not Arnold motherfucking Schwarzenegger, man.
He opens the door. Well, he doesn't open the door. I roll down the window. My window's already rolled down, right? I've got all the interior lights on. I've got all the damn, the windows rolled down. The music's blaring like it's going to scare the damn roach out the door. Like, at this point, I failed to mention, like, I swiped at my dick. And so I don't know where the roach is at. Like, I'm sitting, like, levitating off the couch. Off the damn chair. Like, the seat, driving in midair.
Well, at least you got your seatbelt on now.
I don't have my seatbelt on.
What the man,
so
that's a big-ass ticket.
So, anyway, I was screwed. So I park in this abandoned parking lot. Well, what used to be the gas station. And he's like, I'm going to try to do this awful accent. So he was like...
Can't be any worse than what I did.
Do you know how fast I was going? Oh, fuck, that was awful. I'm just going to say... Imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like, you know how fast you were going? I'm like...
Pretty damn fast?
Fast enough. He's like, do you know the speed limit on the bridge? I'm like, 45, 50, 45. I'm like... He's like, do you know how fast you're going? I'm like... How fast did you clock me? And then I'll tell you how fast I was going. He's like, I clocked you at 71. I'm like, then I was going 71. He's like, I'm not good at math, but I think that's what, 25 over? Hopefully. Possibly. Yeah. Hopefully I don't look like a fucking jackass. But anyway, he said, he's like, why were you going that fast? I'm like, so I was just like, should I make up some badass excuse, or should I just try to tell this motherfucker the truth, and then maybe I could get out of this ticket? Because I'm like, fuck this. I really just want to get out. Like, this motherfucker could crawl on me at any point in time. And so I'm just like...
Well, I wouldn't have told him it was because of a cockroach. I would have been like, somebody was following me.
I didn't. I told him it was a spider to make it sound more better, you know?
Was it at least poisonous?
I told him it was a black widow.
Oh. What's that one that's... brown recluse. I told him it was a brown recluse.
I told this motherfucker cop that it was a black widow. Because, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I mean, you know, he's a badass. If I told him it was a little roach, he'd have been like, what the fuck? And probably bitch slapped me like RoboCop. So he rolled down the window. I mean, so he's just like, I told him, like, this is going to be the worst excuse you've ever heard. But, I was also kind of not, I was like very jittery. And he's just like, what's okay? I failed to mention, I did grab my seatbelt while he was walking up.
Oh, so he tried to get out of that.
He did not see that I had no seatbelt, and I threw my phone on the floor. So he did not see the fact that I had a phone while I was driving as well, which you shouldn't do. But
with your great excuse, I don't think you would have cared.
Yeah, wear your seatbelt. He was just like, so I told him the excuse, which is like, I'm like, sir, this is the worst excuse ever, but there was a fucking spider, and it crawled on me while I was driving. And I just want to fucking get home. I'm scared to fucking death. This is what I told him. Which, in reality, I'm scared of roaches, not spiders. But whatever. But I told him, I was like, there's this spider. He's like, spider? I'm like, yeah, it's fucking black widow. He's like, it crawled onto me. I swatted it. I'm just trying to get to the house. He's like, where do you live? I'm like, right down the block, right down there. I'm like, I'm just trying to get out. I'm trying to, you know, he's just like, I'm like, he's like, you can get out of the car. I'm like, thanks. So I get out of the car, you know, totally go with it. You know, I'm like, out the car, I'm like scared to death, you know. He asked me, he's like, do you have your license? I'm like, no. He's like, well, what's your name? So I tell him my name, I tell him my date of birth. I sat on the, I'm like, can I just sit on the hood of the car, you know, my car? He's like, sure. So I just sat on the hood of my car, like I'm panicking, you know, I'm making myself make it look like that I'm actually scared of this motherfucker. And he's like, he comes back and he's like, he gets on, he says beside me on the hood, he's like, he stands beside me, he's like, so you're going 25 over, you didn't have your seatbelt on. I was like, fuck, he saw me. It's like, damn it, he caught me. He's like, you had your phone, you were very reckless driving. He's like, but I believe your story because I see you panicking, so as long as you just go home, I'm not going to give you a ticket. I'm just going to forget it didn't happen, you have a clean record, you're good to go. I'm like, thanks. He's like, but, he's like, you want me to help you with that spider? I'm like, no, man, can I just go home? He's like, sure. He's like, I'll give you an advice. If you close the window, all the vents but one, because I told him the spider had crawled into the vent, most likely. He's like, and turn the heat on, it'll come out. I'm like, great. He's like, yeah, try that. I'm like, so I get the ass home, and I'm just like, fuck this. And I just go home, take me a shot of Henny, and go to bed. And later in the day, later at night, I actually find the spider and kill it. But, the roach. It's not even, I'm confused myself. It's a roach. Found the roach, killed it, problem solved. But I did not get a ticket.
I wonder how big of a damn ticket that would actually be. Because that's like 4 or 5 different fences in one, man. It ain't just like speeding. It's like, what was it? Reckless driving, speeding 25 over, phone, no seatbelt.
So the more of the story, if you ever get pulled over by the Terminator, just tell them you have either a roach or a spider in your car. Probably don't tell them a roach because you might think it's marijuana. So probably just tell them you have a spider in your car and you're most likely to get out of it.